He trained for every kind of crisis, but nothing could prepare FBI negotiator Cole Harris for this. In the middle of a high-rise hostage standoff, the gunman whispered his son's name. And in that moment, Cole realized this wasn't about the building. It was about him. Rain hit the pavement in sheets, refracting the swirl of red and blue lights that pulsed across the downtown intersection. Glass from the high-rise shimmered like jagged ice above, the upper-floor windows fogged from the bodies trapped inside. SWAT teams lined the perimeter. Snipers were locked in. An FBI negotiator, Cole Harris, stood frozen in the middle of it all, his earpiece buzzing with intel. Inside the 18th floor, at least 9 hostages were being held by a masked man with military precision. He had a calmness that didn't match the chaos he created. He let security footage roll, made no demands for hours, and waited. Like he was watching someone. Waiting for a signal. Cole had seen dozens of these. He was methodical, respected, and relentless when lives were on the line. But this felt different from the start. Suspects not talking. No demands. Just watching, came the voice of Special Agent Royce through the comms. Cole narrowed his eyes at the building. "He's waiting for someone specific," he muttered. Then the suspect called. Not the command center. Not 911. Directly to Cole's secure phone. Cole answered, stepping away from the team. The voice on the other end was smooth, low, almost familiar. "You're the one they send to save strangers, right?" the man asked. Cole's grip tightened on the phone. "You've got 9 people in there. Let's talk about getting them home." The man chuckled softly. "You want them back, Agent Harris?" There was a pause. "What about your son?" The world stopped. "What did you say?" Cole's voice dropped. The man whispered one name. Eli. Cole's knees nearly buckled. That was his 6-year-old boy. Not a name you could guess. Not listed publicly. Not even known by most in the Bureau. Only close family and top clearance colleagues. "You listen to me," Cole said, heart hammering. "If you've done anything to him." "Oh, he's safe for now," the man said. "But if you want him to stay that way, you'll do exactly what I say." Cole turned away from the team, stepping behind a command van, shielding his face from cameras and eyes. His voice shook for the first time in his career. "What do you want?" The man didn't answer directly. "Do you remember what you did 5 years ago in Atlanta? The operation at the shipping yard?" Cole's mind raced. Atlanta. That was a drug bust, violent cartel takedown. Cole hadn't fired a shot, but the entire mission ended in flames. "You buried the consequences," the man continued. "But some of us never forget. This wasn't a terrorist. It was personal." Cole stared up at the glowing windows. The hostages. The SWAT team ready to breach. But none of it mattered now, not compared to the cold hands squeezing his chest. "You're going to follow my instructions inside," the man said. "And outside. Or your boy dies before nightfall." Then the line went dead. Cole stood there, paralyzed. He looked out across the street, saw Royce, the director, a dozen agents waiting for his move. But for the first time in his career, Cole Harris didn't know what to do. He was no longer negotiating with a madman. He was negotiating with a man who already had everything he loved. And he didn't know where Eli was. The city noise faded. Everything became a low hum in Cole's ears as he stood by the van, his phone still clutched tight in a trembling hand. The team was prepping for a breach, standard protocol, especially with hostages inside. But nothing about this was standard anymore. He couldn't tell them. Not yet. If he said even one wrong word, his son was gone. He pressed the phone to his chest, willing his pulse to slow down. One breath, then another. But it wasn't working. "Agent Harris," Royce's voice called from behind. "They're asking for your go-ahead." Cole turned slowly, every muscle tight. "Tell them to stand by." "I need more time." Royce frowned. "We've got infrared scans. The hostages are separated. He's trying to isolate them. The longer we wait, the more likely someone dies." "I said stand by." Cole snapped sharper than intended. Royce stepped back, eyes narrowing, but didn't press. Cole stepped away again, sinking behind a van, and redialed the number from the blocked call. Nothing. No ring. Just silence. He looked at the photos pinned on the inside of the mobile command board. Victim names, floor plans, gunman profiles. None of it mattered now. None of them knew that a different hostage wasn't on the list, his son, Eli. Cole reached into his pocket and pulled out a photo. Eli was smiling wide, holding a paper rocket he'd made the night before. That morning, Cole had ruffled his son's hair, promised pancakes when he got home. Be back by breakfast, he had said. He felt like vomiting. Then his phone buzzed again. Unknown number. Same block line. He answered. Where is he? You'll hear him now, the voice said. There was static. Then a faint sound. Dad? It was Eli. His voice was small, scared. It's dark in here. Cole's hand gripped the van edge to keep from collapsing. Eli, I'm here, buddy. I'm going to get you out, okay? Just stay calm. Don't talk to. The man's voice cut in. That's enough. Then silence. Cole slammed the phone shut, heart racing. Every second wasted here was another second his son could be dying. But if he panicked, if he made a move without thinking, it was over. He had to buy time, without alerting anyone. He walked back toward the team. The director was on site now, her tone clipped. We're going in, she said. Too much risk. No, Cole said immediately. Give me 15 minutes. He just asked for something. The director narrowed her eyes. What's going on with you? Trust me, Cole said, forcing his voice to stay steady. I've negotiated worse than this. Let me work him. He didn't wait for a reply. He grabbed a portable mic and clicked in. This is Agent Harris. I'm listening. No answer. He'd try again. Talk to me. You made this personal. Now tell me what you want. The radio crackled. Release the man you have in federal lockup, the gunman said. Unit 7. Cell 14. You know who I mean. Cole felt his stomach turn. That was a cartel enforcer, responsible for dozens of murders. A man tied to the Atlanta raid. That's impossible, Cole replied. We don't negotiate with. The voice cut him off. Come. Final. You have 90 minutes. Or you'll hear Eli scream. Then the line went dead again. Cole's hand dropped to his side. The weight of the gun on his hip had never felt heavier. The director approached again. What did he just say? Cole lied without hesitation. He wants a chopper. But inside, panic was rising fast. He wasn't just dealing with a hostage crisis. He was dealing with a man who already knew how to break him. And the clock was already ticking. Cole paced behind a command truck, jaw locked, his brain racing faster than the ticking clock on his wrist. 80 minutes left. Maybe less. The voice still rang in his ears. You'll hear Eli scream. He wasn't just fighting a hostage taker. He was being played. The only way the gunman could have known Eli's name, his schedule, where to take him, that kind of access wasn't random. Someone on the inside had helped. He walked toward the tactical van. The back doors were open, gears scattered inside, wires tangled like nerves. Cole climbed in, shut the doors behind him, and pulled up the internal comm logs. Dozens of encrypted calls. Interagency transfers. Cross-reference satellite pings. But one call stood out, burner phone, logged at 4:03 a.m., location just 4 blocks from Cole's own house. He stared at the screen. No one on this team should have been anywhere near his neighborhood that early. Not unless they were watching him. He keyed up the surveillance unit's rear feed. The mobile camera system auto-logged nearby frequencies. Another anomaly, a second phone had been piggybacking the FBI van's secure Wi-Fi. Recently, minutes ago, Cole stepped out and looked across the line of vehicles. Royce was standing near the tactical tent, clipboard in hand, focused on the floor plans. Royce, always the second to arrive, always quiet. Trusted. Lol. But Cole's gut twisted. He walked over slowly. Hey, he said calm. Got a second? Royce nodded, stepping aside. Cole lowered his voice. We had a burner near my house this morning. Someone tipped the suspect. Royce's eyes didn't flinch. That's not possible. Cole studied him. I traced a phone syncing off the FBI van. Yours. Royce blinked once. You think I had something to do with this? Cole didn't answer. Royce scoffed and turned away. But in that second, Cole saw it hesitation. Not fear. Regret. I lost someone too, Cole, Royce said finally. You think you're the only one who's bled for this job? What does that mean? Cole asked. Royce looked at the glowing skyscraper across the street. 5 years ago. That raid in Atlanta. You ordered the breach. You think that was clean. Cole's mouth went dry. The boy who died in that warehouse. His name was Jacob, Royce continued. He was 15. Wrong place, wrong time. No weapon. Just a school bag. Cole shook his head slowly. He was with a cartel. His prints were on 3 kilos of fentanyl. He was scared, Royce said. He was a kid. Cole stepped back. That gunman in there. Is he Jacob's father? Royce didn't answer. He just looked at Cole with something close to pity. I gave him your son, he said quietly. But I didn't want it to go this far. Cole couldn't breathe. It felt like a wall collapsed on top of him. Everything fell into place. The attack wasn't about the hostages. It was a vendetta. A punishment. A chess game that started years ago. You betrayed this agency, Cole whispered. You put Eli's life in his hands. Royce's voice was cold now. I put your life in your hands. Now you get to feel what he felt, watching someone innocent die because of you. Cole turned, trying not to lose control. His vision blurred. He stepped back into the van and slammed the door. He had no time to arrest Royce. No time to explain anything to the team. If the mole was real, the plan had already started unfolding. The gunman wanted justice, and he'd use Eli to get it. Cole sat down, head in his hands. For the first time, he wasn't sure if he could stop this. Then the radio on his chest crackled again. Your clock is ticking, Agent. Have you decided? Cole looked at the building. Hostages inside. A killer with nothing left to lose. And somewhere in the city, his son, terrified, alone. He pressed the mic, I'm coming in. Then he stood, strapped his vest, and walked toward the skyscraper. Cole climbed the steps of the skyscraper alone. No tactical team. No backup. His radio off. Just a wire under his collar and a steel weight in his chest. The lobby was empty. Police had cleared the lower levels hours ago. Elevators were locked down, but he had access codes. As the doors closed around him and the numbers began to climb, he stared at his reflection in the mirror-paneled wall. A father. A negotiator. A man with nothing left to gamble except his soul. Floor 18. The doors opened. The hallway beyond was silent. Fluorescent lights buzzed overhead. Cole stepped forward, heart pounding against the Kevlar vest. The carpet was torn near the edges. No cameras. No sound. Then a voice drifted from the end of the corridor. Leave your gun. Slide it down the hall. It was him. Cole reached slowly under his jacket, pulled the weapon free, and slid it along the floor. It stopped at the feet of a figure in the shadows. The gunman stepped out. He was unmasked now, older than Cole expected. Early 50s, eyes hollowed by grief and years of bitterness. He didn't look violent. He looked tired. I know who you are, Cole said softly. I doubt it, the man replied. You knew my name once. In a report. On a raid log. Your son's name was Jacob. The man's eyes flickered. He wasn't in the cartel. He was scared. You kicked in a door, and 5 seconds later, he was gone. Cole swallowed. I wasn't the one who pulled the trigger. You were the one who approved the operation. Who signed off? Who moved on like nothing happened? Silence stretched between them. Behind the man, Cole could see 2 hostages, bound, silent, afraid. A third was bleeding from the shoulder. He hadn't been bluffing about killing someone. He was willing, capable. I never forgot Jacob's face, the man said. So I found yours. I watched her house. I watched her son walk to school. Cole's hands curled into fists. You made your point, he said. Let them go. I'll do whatever you want. Just don't hurt Eli. The man walked closer, eyes searching Cole's. You still don't get it, he whispered. This isn't about ransom. This is about balance. He pulled out a small remote and clicked a button. A screen lit up on the table behind him. A video feed. A live one. Cole's heart stopped. Eli. Bound. In a basement. Crying quietly, eyes wide with fear. A single bulb swung above him. You've got 30 minutes, the man said. You're going to call in your team and tell them to stand down. Then you're going to walk me out of this building. Safe. I can't do that, Cole whispered. If you don't, the man said, stepping closer, I'll press a button, and the man guarding your son will know it's time to end it. Cole's hands trembled. Then let the hostages go. Keep me. Take me instead. The man's eyes flashed. You think I want to trade one dead son for another? I want you to watch what it feels like to lose everything. Like I did. From behind the gunman, one of the hostages stirred, barely moving, but trying to untie the others. Cole caught it. A whisper of a chance. The man saw Cole's eyes shift. He stepped back, gun raised. Make one call to breach, and your son dies before your people even reach this floor. Cole stared at the feed again. Eli looked straight at the camera, as if somehow sensing his father. I'm here, Cole whispered. Hold on, buddy. The man pressed the button again. The feed froze. Cole stepped forward. What if I give you what you want? What if I let you walk out? No tricks. You get to vanish. Too late for that, the man muttered. Cole knew then. This wasn't about escape. It was about ending something. But he also knew one more thing. There was still a way to win. He just had to break every rule he ever swore to follow. And maybe lose everything in the process. Cole stood still. The frozen screen showed Eli, his son's wide eyes locked in terror, and the tension in the room was unbearable. Every instinct told him to charge, to fight, to take down the man in front of him, but a single wrong move would mean the end. The gunman's hand hovered near the remote. His voice was calm. You think you can outplay me, Agent Harris? That may be the bureaus watching through your wire. Cole didn't move. No wire. No one's listening. The man circled him slowly, gun still raised. You came in here alone because you're desperate. Not brave. I came in here, Cole said quietly, because I still believe this doesn't have to end in blood. A bitter laugh slipped from the gunman's lips. It ended in blood the moment my son hit the ground. Cole held his gaze. Then end it with me. Let them go. Kill me if you want. But let Eli live. The man paused. Just for a second. Then a sound cut through the tension, a faint static pulse. The video feed flickered. A new image popped on screen. Eli, no longer tied. Dirt on his face. A hand pulling him out of the basement. The feed was coming from a second angle. A backup camera. The gunman's eyes widened. What is this? He barked. Cole smiled faintly. You weren't the only one watching. A private GPS ping had gone active the moment the feed was first shown. Cole had handed his phone to a retired surveillance analyst, someone he trusted off the books. They'd used the distorted audio to triangulate location, and when the building narrowed, a SWAT unit moved in. The man's hand trembled. You tricked me. No, Cole said. I saved him. The gunman screamed, swung the weapon, but Cole was faster. A single shot rang out. The bullet struck center mass. The man dropped instantly. Cole rushed forward, gun out, checking corners. The hostages ducked low, screaming. But the threat was down. One hostage, a young man with blood on his shirt, grabbed Cole's arm. He was going to kill us. You saved us. Cole didn't answer. He just looked at the remote in the man's hand. Still gripped in death. He pried it loose, then clicked into the comms for the first time. This is Harris. Suspect down. Hostages alive. There was chaos on the line, cheers, commands, but Cole dropped the earpiece. He wasn't listening anymore. He walked out of the building in silence. Hours later, Cole stood in a hospital corridor. Eli was sleeping inside the room, curled against his mother's side. Bruised, shaken, but alive. Royce had been arrested. No bail. No way out. But none of it mattered now. The case was closed. The threat was gone. Still, Cole couldn't forget the look in the gunman's eyes. That grief. That rage. That shattered need for justice. 3 days later, Cole drove 2 hours south, to a small cemetery near a forgotten town. He found a grave marked Jacob Morales, 2004 to 2019. No flowers. No notes. Just a patch of cold stone under gray skies. Cole knelt slowly and placed a single paper rocket on the grave, the same kind his son had made the morning before the crisis. I'm sorry, he whispered. Then he stood, walked back to the car, and never spoke about the case again. The Bureau would say it ended with a tactical success. But for Cole Harris, it would always be the day he almost lost everything. and the day he learned that sometimes justice and mercy don't live in the same room.